This is Company Saturdays. Every Saturday, we present you with another company. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about FedEx. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. Today we're revealing some interesting and surprising facts about FedEx, one of the world's largest delivery services. FedEx is an American multinational courier service. They're most well-known for their overnight shipping services. They created a system by which senders and customers can track the status of their packages in real time. Nowadays, most of their delivery services use this patented process. The company, headquartered in Memphis, Tennessee, takes their name from the Federal Express. Federal Express was the company's original air courier service. They now use the shortened name FedEx to refer to the corporate conglomerate that represents their air, ground, and international delivery services. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. With all that said, Aluxers, let's dive in to the 15 things you didn't know about FedEx. Number 1. Fred Smith came up with the idea for FedEx thanks to a college assignment. When Fred Smith was an undergraduate at Yale University, he had to write a paper about a new business opportunity for a business class. He had observed how inefficient delivery services were, given that so many companies had to cooperate to achieve international deliveries. He imagined and proposed a new concept whereby one company would handle everything from pickup to delivery. He theorized that with one hand in the pot, so to speak, there would be increased efficiency and profitability. Although his professor was rumored to have only given Smith a C- on his paper, Smith held on to the idea. He eventually started the Federal Express Corporation in Little Rock, Arkansas back in 1971. Number 2. FedEx created the first U.S. air cargo service. FedEx was the first company to centralize the courier service, and its founder revolutionized the concept. Prior to FedEx, delivery services had to be handled by many companies working together. You needed one company to handle pickup, one to handle sorting, and one to courier to the intended recipient. FedEx realized that consumers were hungry for quicker service. He managed to provide this by creating one company to handle all three components: pickup, sorting, and delivery. He also knew that in order to offer fast delivery, he had to bypass the U.S. air cargo service. He used his own planes and managed to achieve the first centralized air courier service. Many other companies then went on to follow suit. Number 3. FedEx drivers earn bonuses for not smashing your packages. When you order something fragile or valuable, you may be afraid to have it shipped. There's always that nagging fear in the back of your mind it will arrive crushed or broken. FedEx prides itself on getting your packages to you in one piece. To foster this, FedEx actually pays their employees up to $100 per month in bonuses to deliver packages safe and on time. The average FedEx driver and delivery person could make up to $5,600 per year in bonus money. However, if you throw or crush a box, not only will you lose your bonus, you're likely going to lose your job as well. Number 4. FedEx patented the delivery tracking system. Whenever you order something online today, you can track the status of your package from the time the order is filled until it reaches your doorstep. And you have FedEx to thank for this. 45 years ago, FedEx was the first company to invent a package tracking system. They wanted to be able to not only measure efficiency, but also be able to give customers a status report on packages en route. FedEx created the tracking system that is used by all delivery and courier services today. Number 5. Fred Smith's net worth is $5.4 billion. Unlike so many other founders, Fred Smith is still employed by his company to this day, over 47 years later. He receives an annual paycheck along with bonuses and incentives. Last year, he earned $15.6 million, and this is actually less than he earned the year before. He was listed the 6th highest paid CEO in 2017 Number 6. The FedEx founder saved the company from bankruptcy by winning blackjack. With $4 million from an inheritance he'd received, along with $80 million in bank loans and equity investments, Fred Smith started FedEx. In its first 5 years, the company had almost run out of money. There was no money to pay the pilots and employees. In fact, employees were holding on to uncashed checks. Pilots had started to use their personal credit cards to pay for fuel. And with just $5,000 left in the company bank account, Fred Smith took his luck to Las Vegas. He turned that $5,000 into $27,000 by winning blackjack. While it was a far cry for what he needed to get the company out of the hole, it was a good enough leg up and a turn in the right direction. He managed to make enough to pay the salaries of his employees for 1 week. Smith also used the remainder of the money to generate more investments in the company. Number 7. In 1994, a disgruntled employee tried to hijack a FedEx plane. In 1994, FedEx was confronted by an angry employee. Auburn Calloway's job was threatened due to him lying about his flight hours. He was so disgruntled, he decided to commit suicide. In an attempt to carry out his plan and retaliate against FedEx, he tried to hijack a FedEx plane. He boarded the plane with a guitar case full of hammers and a spearhead. The FedEx crew managed to fight back and quickly overtook the employee. Thanks to the quick action of the pilot, extreme measures were taken to avoid the takeover. One such extreme measure was to fly the plane upside down, and despite a few injuries, the flight landed safely. Upon arrival, authorities were standing at the ready to take Calloway away. Number 8. FedEx was sued by a Massachusetts woman who was mistakenly delivered 7 pounds of marijuana. In 2013, a woman was at her home in Massachusetts when she received a FedEx package. Much to her surprise, it was not what she'd expected. In fact, the contents of the box included over 7 pounds of marijuana. She immediately knew the package was not intended for her and reported the package as delivered in error from FedEx. The next thing she knew, the intended recipients were knocking on the door, demanding she give them their drugs. When she asked who they were, they said the FedEx delivery guy had given them her name and address. They went to her house to collect their contraband. She decided to sue FedEx, but the case was dismissed. However, police did catch and charge the person who had sent the package. Number 9. A FedEx executive bought Wilson from the movie Castaway for $18,500. If you've seen the movie Castaway, starring Tom Hanks, you're familiar with the volleyball named Wilson. After the movie was released, the volleyball used in the film was sold to a FedEx executive for $18,500. In fact, the ball was so popular, the company actually began making a special volleyball in honor of Wilson. In February 2015, while at a restaurant in New York City, Tom Hanks was reunited with his old pal Wilson, thanks to the executive who had brought the ball to the event. Number 10. FedEx will have a new competitor pretty soon. FedEx has always been in competition with its brown rival, UPS. When comparing different delivery companies, these two are the top competitors. Coming in 2019, though, there will be a third company that will toss their name into the hat for the title of Best Courier Services. Amazon intends to open its own shipping line, Seller Flex. The main goal behind Amazon's move is to offer courier service for 2-day delivery options to all of its online customers. The goal is to pick up Amazon affiliates and deliver them to their customers. And Aluxers, are you interested in starting a successful business just like FedEx founder Fred Smith? Then check out our video, The 15 Things You Need to Know About Starting a Business, by clicking in the top right corner. Now, back on to our facts. Number 11. FedEx announced it will raise pay rates by $3.2 billion in 2019. With recent tax laws passed in the United States, some companies are taking advantage of the opportunity to offer raises to their employees. Despite suffering a few slumps over the past few years, FedEx is committed to taking care of their own. When the new tax law changes were announced in January 2018, FedEx was among one of the first companies to announce their intention to raise the pay of their employees. So far, they've committed $3.2 billion to this endeavor. Number 12. FedEx was charged with illegal drug trafficking in 2015. In 2015, FedEx was indicted for illegal drug trafficking. They were accused of engaging in illegal drug deliveries with several online companies. People were obtaining illegal prescriptions online for drugs such as opioids, anxiety medications, and other controlled substances. Pharmaceutical suppliers were then delivering the drugs to the customers' homes, and FedEx was the courier in charge of handling those deliveries. They were named as accomplices in the pharmaceutical company's scheme. After much insistence that they had no knowledge of the illegal activity, the charges were finally dropped by the U.S. prosecutors. Number 13. FedEx keeps empty planes circulating in the air at all times. Since its inception, FedEx has risen to become the #1 courier service in the world. One of the most important and profitable ways they have achieved this status is by their commitment to customer satisfaction. To ensure they are able at any given time to accommodate courier needs, they keep empty planes circumnavigating the globe at all hours of the day. They want to make sure they can use these planes to handle any delivery crisis that could occur around the world. This speaks to their level of competition as well as their customer service goals. But how environmentally friendly is it? Number 14. FedEx is the official courier for all pandas in the world. You may not know this, but all pandas in the world are legally on loan from China. China has designated FedEx as the official courier of all pandas. So, when a panda is shipped somewhere in the world, you can bet it's being delivered by FedEx. FedEx has been in charge of what they call the Panda Express for the past 30 years. Last year, FedEx ran the Panda Express for the 7th time, and their 777 freight plane was used to carry the animal. Flights like this are headed up by a FedEx loadmaster. Out of 400,000 FedEx employees, only 7 are designated as loadmasters for special flights like these. Number 15. FedEx has changed how the world does business. Before 1971, there was no international courier service. With FedEx, Fred Smith changed the entire face of international business. He has made it possible for a company in California to ship a product to Florida overnight. He enabled all companies to be able to track their packages at any given moment. His technology and business model have been imitated by dozens of corporations across the globe. In 2017, FedEx made over $1.7 billion, and we can see why. And there you have it, Aluxers, 15 things you didn't know about FedEx. Now that you've learned some more about this thriving company, we'd like to know, how do you think Amazon stepping into the shipping market will affect FedEx's business? Let us know what you think in the comments. And of course, for sticking with us until the end and being a true Aluxer, here's your bonus. Number 16. Most FedEx delivery guys can tell when you're trying to ship drugs. FedEx delivery drivers pay a lot more attention to their packages than you may think. Drivers and delivery people say they can almost always spot when someone is trying to deliver drugs. They said there are a few dead giveaways, such as using a ton of duct tape or using a lot of perfume to cover up a smell. When they have their suspicions, they mark the package as suspicious and turn it over to their assurance teams. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.